Alright, welcome guys. So if you are an absolute beginner who knows nothing about guitar, this series of episode will be for you, as I will be preparing and touching topics that you should know before paying your very first guitar lesson. Alright, so let's just briefly look at the topics that we will cover today. We will talk about different types of guitar and parts and the name of the guitar that you want to know, some common terminology that we will use as we learn our guitar, how to hold guitar picks, what type of guitar picks are there, and then we'll do some simple exercises to play our very first note. And without further ado, let's talk about the different types of guitar. Some guitars that we have consist of electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and classical nylon guitar. Okay, I don't have a nylon classical guitar, but it is somewhat similar to acoustic guitar, just that the strings that they use are nylon strings instead of steel strings. This is an electric guitar. Okay, it needs to be plugged in to a guitar amplifier in order to get our sound. And we have different types of electric guitar, different shape and different make. Okay, this is a tele style guitar, more electric guitar, different shape for different sound. And this is an acoustic guitar, and as you can hear, it produces a louder sound and it doesn't need to be amplified. It can be played acoustically, okay, and it does not require to plug into a guitar amp to play. Although there are some acoustic guitar that allows you to plug in and get the sound amplified, and that is called semi-acoustic guitar. Okay, so regardless of the types of guitar that you own or intending to buy, the basic parts and the basic understanding of it is the same. Now let's look at the different parts of the guitar. We have an acoustic guitar. So this part here is called a headstock. These are my tuning pegs. Okay, we got a nut here, our guitar neck, our fingerboard, our fretboard, and all these are our fret marker, our body, guitar body, and for acoustic guitar, we have what we call a sound hole. And it's because of this sound hole, we are able to produce a louder sound acoustically. And then we have our bridge here, and lastly our guitar strings. For electric guitar, it's somewhat identical, but we do not have a sound hole. Instead, we have what we call our pickups. So these are pickups that picked up sound from the strings and amplify it out from our output here, and this part goes out to the guitar amplifier. So these are pickup selector, and these are my respective volume knobs and tone knob, okay, to adjust our desired sound that we want. So just be aware of all these names and all these guitar parts, so that next time in your future guitar lesson, when all these names are mentioned, at least you know what they are. Alright, so the next part, we're going to talk about common guitar terms that we often use to identify things like strings, frets, and even our fingers. Okay, so now let's talk about the guitar string. Over here, we have our 6 strings from bottom. So it's weird. When people say bottom string, it's really the top string that's nearer to us. And then the high string or the top string that is nearer to the ground. So it's kind of like opposite. But you can just understand it as bottom string as the thicker string and the top string is the thinner string. So using number, we are going to identify our lowest string here as our 6th string, and respectively we'll have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's good to know the note names of the strings as well. My 6th string here is my low E string, E for elephant. My A string, A for apple. My D string, D for dog or Denmark. G for girl. My B string for boy, and this string here is my high E string. This top string and this bottom string, they are of the same note, but one is low and one is high. All these are literally called open string because we are not fretting anything or pressing anything on our left hand. Okay, we are just playing the open note of the strings. So this is my 6th string open string, 5th string open string, etc, etc. The second thing that we want to understand is our fret numbers. This is called my fretboard or my fingerboard. All these areas here, these are called frets, and is divided by our metal fret here. Okay, so the first metal fret here, and this first area here, this is my first fret, and then respectively we are just going to count up. So if this is first fret, this will be my second fret, my third fret, which is indicated by our first fret marker here, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And typically our 12th fret is marked by 2 dots. And at the top you can see that we have our markers here. And the 12th fret is indicated with 2 dots. So when someone say the 6th fret, so 6th fret will be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything that is below the first fret will be called our open string. Okay, the last term that we want to understand is finger numbers. Fingers that we want to focus on will be on our left hand, our fretting hand that's going to press the guitar frets. For our pointer finger, our index finger, we are going to identify this as 1, middle finger as 2, ring finger as 3, pinky as 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is using our guitar pick to play our guitar. Okay, so same as guitars, we have different types of guitar pick also, and I'm going to show you a few. Generally, you just need to understand that there is light pick, medium pick, and heavy pick. Basically, it's just the thickness, and also it comes with different size. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a Fender medium pick, and this is a Dunlop pick, and this is a heavy one, and you can see that it's thicker and it's harder to bend. Okay, whereas this is easier to bend. So the thickness and the material of the pick affects the sound produced while strumming or picking as well. The sound that you want to get really depends on the genre of the song. So typically for acoustic, more strumming part, I will use a light pick to a medium pick. If I want a more tighter and a more solid kind of a lead sound, I'll use a heavy pick. Typically, in the end, it boils down to your personal preference and your own personal touch of the instrument. So let's talk about how to hold the guitar pick. So guitar pick is held with your right hand. General instruction is pointing your thumb like that, and we are just going to form a 90-degree angle with our index finger, and we're going to place it somewhere in the middle of the thumb and have our index finger kind of protruding out. Now we're going to replace the index finger with our pick, and the pointy part of the pick, we're going to place it with our index finger. So initially this is our index finger pointing out, but now we are replacing it with the pick, and we're going to just hold it like this. You can curl a bit more, that's fine, or you can just relax and let the index finger protrude out a little bit. So kind of like a heart shape, right? Adjust accordingly to how you feel, but most importantly is once you grab the pick, okay, it looks like this. You don't want the pick to protrude out from your thumb too much, okay, and you don't want to hide it too little as well, okay, just somewhere in between. Note that you don't want to hold it too tight, okay, just hold it comfortable enough so that it doesn't drop. You can see that as I notch it a bit, there is still room for the pick to move left and right. You don't want to hold it too tight where there's no room for the pick to move at all. Okay, and before we get into playing, let's talk about how we're going to hold our guitar. So you see this body here, okay, we have like a waistline here, just like human. This curved part, right, we are going to place it on our right thigh, okay, over here, our right hand. We're just going to hug it, okay, and have our elbow here, our this part here, okay, to just anchor the guitar, okay, so that you're in control and you're able to bring the guitar body towards your own body. And for your fretting hand, you're just going to hold it like that, U shape, and your guitar pick like that. So this is your starting position, okay, can be anywhere on the string, doesn't matter. Okay, so now what we want to do now is to focus on our right hand to try to pick our strings with our pick. Remember our string number. So now we're going to sound out the string number together, and we are going to pick the respective string number that we sound out. So remember how we're going to hold our pick like that, okay, and we are going to put our guitar pick kind of like flat on the string here, and once you get that flat, okay, we want to tilt it a little bit, like kind of like 45 degree, so that my pick is angled downwards. So it's downwards like that. So once you've done that, lightly pick the string using our downstroke, so downwards. Okay, and as you pick downwards, it's okay that your pick is going generally towards that direction, this direction that I'm pointing at, towards your right side. So you don't really want your pick to go too vertically downwards like that. Okay, by doing this, you're actually doing what we call flat picking, which is not what we want yet. Okay, your pick flat, and after that, tilt it 45°, angle it down towards your left side. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue picking down. So now let's go to our 5th string, and we're going to do the same thing, just downwards. Our 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. So now what we're going to do is, after we pick, we are going to gently mute it with our picking hand. So you can just gently touch it to stop the vibration of the string, because the vibration is what causes the sound. Okay, so now let's move on to our 5th string, and then mute. And you can also use more of your thumb, more of the side of the thumb, to gently touch it too. Okay, so what you want is also to just mute the string. Okay, touch the string that you played just now to stop the vibration. That's all to it. So let's go to our 4th string, play, mute. So it looks something like this underneath. Okay, so it's just the side of the thumb that is touching. Okay, our 3rd string, pick, mute. Our 2nd string, pick, mute. Our 1st string, pick, mute. Okay, so one thing that I want to address again is for our low E, because there is no more strings at the bottom, right? Okay, you can hear a little bit that there's some harmonics from the other strings. In this case, right, we just want to touch all the strings just in case that happens. But for the other strings, generally you don't really need to mute the other strings. Okay, you just need to use your side of the thumb to mute the vibrating strings. Okay, that's all. So you can do it reverse. 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, 6th string. Okay, and you can just do it creatively. Name out the strings. 6th string, 4th string, okay, 5th string. Okay, where's the 2nd string? Here. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, cool. So now the very last thing that we're going to do today is to infuse our fretting hand. Okay, remember our finger number. We have 1st finger, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Okay, and then remember our fret number. Fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Now we're going to put all of them together. Okay, and now I'm going to give you instructions to tell you which fret number, which string, and which finger to use to press our frets. Okay, so let's try. And one thing that I want to talk about is just your general starting posture for our fretting hand. You want to keep your thumb at the back of the neck. Okay, kind of forming like a general U shape. Okay, and just hold it behind the neck like that. Okay, you don't want to go too low. Just keep your thumb stayed generally at the middle of the neck. And you can just adjust accordingly depending on how you feel. But for now, let's just keep it like that. This is our general starting position, U shape, and our fingers kind of like flat on the fretboard. So now, let's use our 1st finger, 3rd string. So where is our 3rd string? 3rd string will be here. Okay, so we are only using our 3rd string. And the last instruction is 3rd fret. So where is the 3rd fret? So 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret, third string, first finger, press like that. Okay, you don't have to press too hard, just press it enough, and then we are going to pick our third string, mute. So now let's just do a few together and try to follow along. So now let's use our first finger again. We are going to play our fifth string, fifth fret. So take a moment to find fifth string, fifth fret using our first finger. So fifth fret, fifth string will be here, first finger, U shape, remember, and we are going to apply a bit of pressure, and you can see that as I apply my pressure, my other fingers are lifted off so that I'm able to get my notes to ring out. Mute, play, mute with your right hand. Next one, let's try using our second finger. So where is our second finger? My second finger will be my middle finger. Fourth string, third fret. So where is fourth string, third fret? Fourth string will be this string here, 6, 5, 4, third fret, 1, 2, 3, second finger. So U shape, apply pressure, your other fingers will be lift up. Okay, so but don't lift up like that. Just lift up a little bit gently so that it is just still close to the fretboard. Okay, so apply pressure, just press it, and then use your right hand to pick. Mute, pick, hold it there, mute, mute. Let's try two more. This time let's use our third finger. So third finger is our ring finger. Now let's try to play our sixth string, sixth fret. Sixth string, sixth fret, third finger will be here. Apply pressure, pick, mute, pick, mute, pick, mute. Okay, so now let's try our last one. This time around a little bit hard. Let's try to use our pinky. Second string, fourth fret. So where is second string? Second string will be this. Fourth fret will be here. Fourth finger, our pinky. Same thing, U shape, and then just apply pressure. Pick, mute, pick, mute, pick, mute. That's all for today, and this is already a lot for someone who is new to guitar and has never played the guitar at all. And congratulations for making it this far. So one practice suggestion for you is to just do what we did at the last part. Tell yourself which finger, really say out. Okay, so if you want to use your first finger, say first finger. Okay, now I want to try to press 5th fret, know where 5th fret is, 6th string, and then practice picking it, downstroke only, but remember all the technical aspect that we talked about just now. Yeah, you don't have to spend so much time on it, just maybe 5 minutes every day, and it's good enough for you to really truly understand this aspect of playing first before we move on to more difficult stuff, strumming or alternate picking, whatever. Okay, but for now, just focus on this 5 minutes every day. And yeah, so that's all for today, and I will see you in the second episode of this series, things you want to know before you pay your first guitar lesson.